So the G.I. Joe panel, obviously, I was watching, and they cut to a fan wall, and Sorrell texted me and was like, "Dude, you're asleep." And I was watching the screen, and there was a lag at one point, and it was dropping in and out and everything like that. And I think that they just recorded me at the time that I was kind of like looking down at my keyboard.
The Geek Week in Review.
Hello and welcome back to the Geek Week in Review with me, Jacob's Toys, of course, wonderful one and only SuperSorrell, and of course, Ryan Speaks Geek. If you're listening to podcast, then please do check out the description below and follow all the links. And if you're watching on YouTube, then check out the description below. Give these guys a follow if you don't already. And of course, like, share, subscribe, and all of those things. What a cool week. HasCon.
I have to remember that
there was a convention on this week.
There was. I'll tell you what, my wife would definitely tell you there was, because I was out of action for a couple of hours just watching it. So yeah, my weekend has just literally been sat in front of the screen. Yeah, it was a good one. I thought I enjoyed it. It was okay. We can get into the meat and gravy of it, I suppose.
I'm scared that Hasbro is still recording me at all times. That's what I'm worried about.
That is it. I had to be really careful. So just to obviously, just to mention, I mean, you know, if you are watching, I don't know if anyone noticed, but Sorrell got an invitation to join in on the Friday fan wall, and of course we did see his beautiful face popping up with probably one of the best reactions caught on camera for a reveal that I think I've ever seen.
Do you know what the thing was as well? That was actually 100% genuine for the.
Right, yeah.
Do you know which one it was? Do you know what I popped to the most of all things? That Galaxy's Edge 4-pack with the droids in it.
Oh, with the little. Oh, with the droids.
It was the droid one that got me. It was the droid one. I was like,
nice.
Yeah. It was the little the droid that works on the ship on Star Tours, isn't it? The little round.
Yeah.
I can't remember its name.
No, I can't. I know the way you're talking about.
It's Pit Droid.
Yeah.
And it was that little droid. Just the fact we're getting one of them in Black Series, I was like, genuine.
Yeah, no. It was such a cool reaction. It was such a cool reaction. And then obviously I was lucky enough to get an invitation to join in Saturday, which meant Marvel Legends. And, you know, we both got a little bit of screen time, and my reaction was, again, it was genuine. I think the thing to kind of disclose here is obviously they filmed us for the whole duration. We had to be logged in at the beginning of the con and sit through the whole thing and watch it. And they were recording us that whole time. So like and audio and everything. So you couldn't even like fart without
you couldn't say anything. You have to be so careful.
Yeah. And you know, so there were genuine reactions, and then when it cut back to the fan wall, they're obviously using reactions. So the reactions that you saw from us were genuine.
I mean, mine were as genuine as I could really make them. I didn't want to overham it. I was a bit worried I was getting too much of a spotlight on it, and I just didn't want to take the show away from everyone.
Ryan, it's you know, maybe next time. But I do want to address one thing. So as I said, we were watching the whole. Yeah, Ryan wasn't there, but we were watching the whole thing. So we were being recorded throughout the whole thing. So the G.I. Joe panel, obviously, I was watching, and they cut to a fan wall, and Sorrell texted me and was like, "Dude, you're asleep." And I was watching the screen, and there was a lag at one point, and it was dropping in and out and everything like that. And I think that they just recorded me at the time that I was kind of like looking down at my keyboard, like this kind of thing. And then they showed it. So but if you look at everybody on that panel, everybody looked really bored, because I think it was at the time
known as the narcoleptic customizer now.
Yeah, it's just.
Well, it was if you if you saw the opening to the whole HasCon thing, they went, and here's that fan wall, and there was one black brick. That was me. My camera did not work for 30% of the actual con. And then I got this message on the chat. I got this message from the system people are going, "You need to refresh your camera. It's not working." I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, no. I realized afterwards that black brick was me.
Amazing. But it was, you know, all jokes aside, like obviously, I think I speak for me and Sorrell when I say a massive thank you to Hasbro for inviting us, because it was a real experience. It was good fun, and it was good to be in and chatting with all the other like collectors and people we know from communities, and obviously, you know, various different social pages and stuff. So it was a lot of fun. And it was really nice that we actually got 2 different days. We said that, didn't we, when we found out that we were both doing it, that one of us got the Friday and one of us got the Saturday. But yeah, what I mean, there was so much to get through. How do you want to do this? Do we go through popularity? Do we go through? I'll tell you what. Let's cast off the things that we're not going to talk about. So On my day, for example, there was like Dungeons and Dragons and Magic the Gathering and Nerf as well. You know, they're not things that I can pass any kind of comment over because they're not things that I collect.
I did like the Nerf Needler from Halo though, because I mean, even if you were going to get it as a Nerf gun, if you're a big Halo fan, that's just a cool replica.
I was surprised to learn though that with Nerf, they're not going to put those any of those guns are going. None of them are going to retail. You've got to pre-order them, or you're not getting them basically.
Yeah.
Which is I don't know. It feels weird.
I must actually backtracking a little bit. The Hasbro Pulse Con box that they sent out to us had the Needler in it. Me and Sorrell both got a Needler, and
the full size one.
No, the little tiny one, not the big one.
I'm talking about the big replica one.
That's
I was saying, that was awesome.
I just the little one. And I bought my kids Nerf guns over the years and all the rest of it. My son's got like the Fortnite sniper as well and that kind of stuff, which is flipping powerful as well. I'm just gonna say, I blasted him at point blank range when he was getting ready for the shower, and it bruised him. Like it was powerful.
Hello, child services.
I gave my Nerf gun to my youngest, and he absolutely loves it. So they're doing something right, definitely. I mean, it's definitely a strong brand, and and the VR side of it all looks very interesting. But it's not really something that I can talk in great detail about because it's not one of my brands. So where should we go? Do you want to go Power Rangers, G.I. Joe, Transformers, Star Wars, or Marvel? I think they're the big five that we'll talk about.
Let's start Power Rangers because it started the con.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good to me. All right. You know what? I'm going to be honest. Lightning Collection was something that I collected. When it first launched, I jumped in hard and I collected up all the way up until we completed the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. But I jumped out again. I stepped back and I kind of moved them on. Just because I'm not as familiar with all of the branched off shows. So when it was coming to reveals, although the figures look amazing, there was one or two every now and again that I was like, oh yeah, that's great. And I just kind of, there wasn't enough momentum for me to really be invested, but the articulation on them and the work that they're doing is great.
See, I stuck with them.
Did you?
I stuck with Power Rangers. I've got more or less now a full run of Mighty Morphin. So I'm still collecting the Mighty Morphin stuff, just that line. I don't bother with any of the others, but I do just solely collect the Mighty Morphin series, and obviously getting that Finster figure in our box. That's an awesome little figure.
You know what?
It really surprised me, that fig.
Picking that up actually made me go, I think I need to get them back. I think Rangers.
We're getting Scorpina soon as well, and that'll complete more or less the whole villain line. We just need, is it what's they called? Bamboo and Squat or something? Boo and Squat?
Yeah, Babu.
Babu.
The weird little monkey.
Yeah, monkey thing and the little blue thing.
Yeah,
that one.
You know what was interesting about Power Rangers, because they obviously announced the Zord line, didn't they, in like the VHS box? And what I hadn't noticed is that the size of the villains are a little bit bigger, aren't they? And I'd never really noticed that was the case. And then when they announced that obviously the Zords are at that kind of near a 7-inch line, so you can do the big battles, I was like, that's genius. And I hadn't even really picked up on it before.
It's a smart idea because they've never done it before. I mean, it saves you having to release two sort of scale of one monster. You can just do the things. And I'm actually the Megazord line as well, I really like, because it's something that I could get and it's not going to take up so much space, but I can actually have a good physical representation of that Zord without having to have something that takes up a huge section. Good start.
That's why I'm here still. I'm still here.
Is that narcolepsy again? They keep cutting out.
So
it's all right.
Those Zords, what I liked about them was they're not super articulated because they're meant to be based on the guys in the suits. They're not based on the metal power, the Zord. They're based on the actual dude who played it in the suit. So they've only got like the articulation that dude would have within that suit, which I think is a really genius idea.
Yeah, no, it was really cool. It was really, really clever. And then obviously they announced as well the I thought it was going to be like a HasLab kind of like a massive,
like a helmet.
No, not that. The thing I thought that they were going to do a Megazord kind of in the scale of the kind of Galactus and Sentinel kind of thing, but they didn't, did they? They went for the more familiar line size. Like, I'm not big on my mechs and stuff like that, but they were saying about how it was the same size as other mechs and stuff like that, which I thought was really cool. I think, for people that are really hard into Power Rangers, I thought that it was a really good decent panel. Like, and it was cool to see like the Dino Charge guy. It's Dino Charge, Dino Thunder.
Yeah.
And for them to do the unboxing and stuff, I just thought it was really cool. Like, but yeah, go on then. They did announce a helmet.
That was one of the things I was most excited about. I feel like I'm starting at the peak. Because obviously, I love all the helmets. I've got like the Pink Ranger, the Red Ranger, and I'm still waiting for Zabby to sort out my White Ranger one, like 6 months on. But and I've got the Morpher. I love the replica kind of stuff. The Dragon Dagger, I've still got on pre-order. That's whenever that comes out. But the Lord Zed helmet, I naturally assumed it was going to be the next Ranger. So I was thinking about maybe we'll see the Blue Ranger or something this time. So then they just whacked out and he fully chromed up Lord Zed helmet. I was like,
with a voice changer as well, didn't it? With a voice changer.
It's not bad. I mean, because I do a lot of stupid voices myself already. Like I'll save myself the batteries, but I don't use the one in the Stormtrooper either. I just aim at things and miss. But the Lord Zed helmet is just I'm really excited about that. That's actually one thing I was just like, it was so left field for what they've been doing recently. There has been no replica villain stuff whatsoever.
Well, I think it's to tie in. Whoa. I think it's to tie in with obviously Zed coming back into the TV show, isn't it?
Yeah, his big return, isn't it?
Yeah. So no, I'm still waiting to see you wearing it all. Like, I want to see you wearing the whole. But it has to be the Pink Ranger helmet. Like, it has to be.
I can't. Right, okay.
No,
so
exactly.
While we're on it, here's a confession. My head does not fit inside the Pink Ranger helmet.
Mine doesn't either. But when Hasbro sent me it, I looked at it, I was like, you do realize, Hasbro, I have the fattest face on the planet, and you've sent me the tiniest helmet.
I mean, I just needed to see what it looked like on a human, so I had to be like to my wife, like, I know this is like the worst thing ever for you, but can you put this Pink Ranger helmet on? I was like, don't worry, I'll put my red one on as well. I'll put my Red Ranger one on, and it'll be fine. That makes it all good.
And at that point, there's a knock at the door, and like it's a relative, and it just looks like some weird party. Like,
that's when I win the postcode lottery. I'm just sitting there in a paragraph. Someone's knocking at your door. That's gonna happen.
Amazing. No, I thought it was a good panel. I thought it was kind of well paced. I thought there was enough kind of reveals that it kind of kept everyone interested. And even, as I said, for a line that I've stepped away from, I was still invested. I was still fully invested in what they were showing and kind of pop in at the right times and stuff. And yeah, the Finster figures definitely kind of reeled me in a little bit.
So cool.
Reeled me back a little bit. Cool. Anything else about Power Rangers?
That was basically it.
That was it, wasn't it? That was it.
And they're awesome. There you go. That's something else.
They are pretty awesome. All right. So where are we going next?
So we might as well move on. Transformers. That was next, wasn't it, in the lineup?
Go on, then. Ryan, you're a Transformers man.
Oh, since when was I the Transformers guy?
Yeah.
I've always been the Transformers guy.
What was the con exclusive one that we got? The
Galvatron, the Herald of Unicron Galvatron. So this is the one that I saw the leak, and I think we talked about very briefly last week, and it was that. So the translucent purple Galvatron, based on the 86 movie scene where he's transformed from Megatron into Galvatron. Aesthetically, it looks amazing. It comes with all these, basically the micro figure cast, like the micro figure, the ones that are unpainted, non-articulated, but like this big. To go in scale with that HasLab Unicron. They did basically the whole cast and the other two kind of ships as well to go in scale with it. And put a little display stand. So it really is designed to go with the HasLab Unicron. So you sort of made your market smaller there, but it looks amazing, to be fair. So I can see a lot of people getting that regardless of the Unicron purchase or not. I mean, what I want to do is see it, and with some really good lighting underneath it, to go through all that translucent plastic, I think that would look amazing. If you had a good light box around it, I think that could be pretty an awesome display piece.
Yeah, no, definitely. What was the one that we got? The one that they sent out in the box? I can't remember its name.
Ravage. So
Ravage.
Agent Ravage. So because as you guys, I am actually from I was born in 1990, even though I look like a pensioner. Which we've established on many occasions. It's a pensioner or an accountant. It's one of the two. The Ravage figure is based on original Soundwave. You had these cassettes, and one of his cassettes was Ravage, which was the one that's based on like the Jaguar. And so when the Beast Wars came out in the 90s, which was one of the very first CGI fully CGI TV series, in about season 2 or 3, Agent Ravage came into it, and he was sort of a basic remold of one of the Cheetor figures originally, Transmetal Cheetor. and it actually turns out he was the original Ravage from the G1 cartoon show, because they made Beast Wars sort of circular, because they actually go to the arc from the 80s TV series, and you see all the Autobots in 3D and stuff. But that Ravage is the original Ravage, and there was a really nice nod where he's, I mean, spoiler alert, I mean, if you haven't seen it, it's been like 20 odd years. A ship blows up, and he actually transforms into the cassette at one point, and he's always like, Decepticons forever, and which is just, I'm getting chills thinking about it, but it was an awesome series. So that as an exclusive set was clever, because they've done a reissue of the original G1 cassette mold, as well as the new tooling on to make that Agent Ravage. So
and you will have that in your hands on Tuesday morning, my friend. Because that I've sent it out.
I'm so excited.
Look at this.
You can get. I haven't even done the review, mate. I've left it sealed. It's coming your way. You can do the reveal on it.
Oh, you're not gonna do it? Oh, mate. Oh,
you can get the video.
Look at this. Look at this, love. Look, here we go. Look. All right. Well, I'll be reviewing that one tomorrow then, Ryan. So just, no, I won't.
I don't need your box, Hasbro. I've got friends.
I was looking at it and I was like, I cannot do this figure justice, but I know somebody on our team that can. So I thought, it can come your way and you can get some traction on your channel with it.
No, see, I loved when I was younger. I was massively into my Transformers, and I think that's why, for me, having these Transformers from Hasbro recently, like just kind of even just playing around with them in front of the camera has been like a massive nostalgia trip for me. So, but yeah, no, that's wicked. I look forward to seeing your video on that one, Ryan.
I will definitely be doing that.
Do look forward to that.
I'm just getting so grateful. Thank you. I'm really excited about that. And so just on Transformers, so the actual main reveal is the new line that they're doing. So obviously they've done the Earth Wars sort of thing in the big trilogy they do, and they announced the new way it's going to be doing it. And we are going for Transformers Legacy. I thought it was Legends earlier, I said, but it's Legacy.
It's because that logo looks the spitting image of an old Legends logo, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's always in my head. Yeah. I think it's, like you said, it's so synonymous with it. But it's basically going to be a line celebrating just Transformers, the entire legacy, as it says, really. So we are going to get figures, like updated characters, but from every part of Transformers lore and history. So there'll be some from comics, there'll be some from G1s that haven't been updated in ages, there'll be even stuff from the more recent series. So actually the first reveals, I will say my favorite Transformers character is Blaster, and he was on the poster for it, so he's definitely going to get a new one, but he wasn't revealed. But what we did get revealed was a Legacy Universe RC, but its RC is based on the late 2000 Transformers Prime series, so it's not the RC from the 86, so it's the updated version of the motorbike. Okay. So that's going to be really interesting. Cool. We got one of the Insecticons kickback. Then it's the new molding, looks amazing. Like it is like they've taken G1 and made it modern. It looks G1 that someone's customized into being articulated. It's hard to describe, but they've done Skids, which is just an unfortunate name. Not the most popular bot, but he's one of those odd ones that the original Diaclone car was just like this most very boring, like station wagon type thing, van type car, but they've done him a lot of justice. We've got the G2 Laser Universe Prime. So G2 Prime is one of my favorite ones when I was a kid. He's like an Optimus Prime, but he's like a what's it called, like the high octane trailer, the big things, and he's got like big shoulder pads and stuff like that. It's ironically it was 90s, but it makes it sound 80s when I say shoulder pads. The other one was Voyager Bulkhead. Bulkhead was originally from the animated series they did in the early 2000s, which took much more of a Japanese cartoony sort of feel. They've updated that. It looks like almost like a cross between the more recent John Goodman Hound from the Bayverse sort of molding, like inspired for that. And finally, because everyone has switched off now because of the sound of my voice, we have got Legacy Deluxe Decepticon Drag Strip. Now, the important thing about Drag Strip is because it instantly tells you that they're doing combiners again, because Menasor is one of the combiners to have. It was the Stunticon, so you had Motormaster, Drag Strip, Dead End, Wild Rider, the others that I've now gone out of my head. But so we didn't get revealed what his limb mode is. They didn't show us that. They sort of keeping that quite close to the chest, I think. So, but we know we're going to get a much more cartoon style, like G1 accurate combiner, because they did the Combiner Wars one, which was pretty cool. But I think they're going old school on this one. And if drag strip's anything to go by, it's going to be a really good series.
Awesome.
I'm looking forward to this run.
Oh, wicked!
Man, Jake in the studio.
that was an in-depth rundown, mate. That was your Transformers though. You know your Transformers. But no, I think it's a fun line. I mean, like I said, for me, it hits in all the nostalgia. So having the odd figure here and there is brilliant. One other line as well that we didn't mention, but I do want to touch on it, is the Ghostbusters one.
Oh, you mean if you blinked, you missed it? Ghostbusters.
Yeah, it was really short. So I like the fact we saw a clip of Afterlife. So we saw a never seen before clip, which was great. They showed us all of the figures that have been sent out to us or that you can get on the shelves. They're at the retailers and all the rest of it. But the only thing in that reveal that got me was the accidental kind of reveal of what the HasLab project is going to be.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a proton pack, right? That's there's no two ways about it. That's their HasLab. Like, that's cool. Like, that's.
But my thing was with that whole panel, it was cool. Yeah, that they did that kind of like we dropped it kind of thing. But they've got figures in the pipeline that are coming out. We know they're coming out, but they didn't even talk about them. Like
they didn't talk about any of them. Yeah,
we still need the one girl character. I'm pretty sure she's called Phoebe, and she finishes the 4 of the kids Transformers from the new movie. Yeah, and they didn't even talk about it. I'm not sure if it's because of spoilers or what, but they didn't talk about Phoebe. And there's like Paul Rudd apparently is getting a character, like a figure, and there's going to be loads more of the. Yeah, and apparently this Christmas we're going to get a boatload of Stay Puft Marshmallow Man stuff, like the little tiny ones. We're getting like a boatload of them.
I honestly thought that was what the HasLab was going to be. Like, however many inch fully articulated Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Like, come on, everybody of the 80s and 90s would just eat that up. Like, a proton pack is cool. A Stay Puft Marshmallow Man I would have backed like instantly. Do you know what I mean? But it's funny because when I opened up, I got the podcast. I think you did as well, didn't you, Sorrell?
Yeah,
I got podcast figure. Yeah. And I opened it up and I was like, you know what, this is a cool figure. Like, it's hyped me up for the film. Like, you know what, I think I'm gonna pick up the rest. But then I looked at him in hand and I was like, for the price point, I wasn't sold, if that makes sense. Like, I wasn't excited enough to.
I'm not too bothered for the bath because the bath is the standing version of a Terror Dog, which looked weird. Until I've seen the film, I might regret doing this in a few months' time when I've seen the movie. But I'm not going to bother with the bath. So I'm just going to buy the 4 kids. So I've now got podcast. So I'm going to go out there and get the others to go with them. Then at least because I've already got the original Ghostbusters in plasma series. I don't need grey versions of them. So if I get the 4 kids, I'll be happy because I've got the Stranger Things versions as well.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I need to finish off my the line of them. I need to finish them off. So I want to get.
You know what? My favorite part of it, though, without a doubt, was the little tiny little awesome accessory, which I wish they'd given. Like, you could see how tiny it is, but I wish they'd given us kind of a couple, like, so you could have kind of done having one on its own was a bit.
One of the other figures comes with a couple of them as well.
Yeah, and then there's like a pack of
Stranger Things. Yeah, he comes with a few of them.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, it was a good panel, but like you say, blink and you miss it. So what does that leave us?
Now what?
Star Wars, G.I. Joe, and Marvel, isn't it? They're the other 3. Should we leave Star Wars and Marvel to last?
Yeah, can do. We'll do G.I. Joe next.
Let's do G.I. Joe then.
G.I. Joe.
The real American hero. Or is it real American hero or all American hero?
Real
American, isn't it? That's it.
Now we know. G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
And Jacob,
don't set your face on fire.
I know. I'm losing my cameras all over the place tonight. So
it's all right, makes it interesting. Jamiroquai music video. He's just like future.
Shall I tell you what? A G.I. Joe panel. Joe was a line that I didn't jump on, and I know a lot of collectors kind of jumped straight into it and were just like, "Yep, give me all the G.I. Joes," and I didn't buy any of them. But
that's it. Just cut to there. That's the end of the video.
So what's next? Like, no, but it was a really, really strong panel. Like, for me, up until the point it was on, it was like the panel of the con. Like, it was really strong. Like, and the figures are really, they're going from strength to strength. They're getting better and better. And there was a few there. I'll start with the first one. So the what's his name? Crocmaster and the Fiona crocodile with like all the little baby crocodiles. I was like, yep, get me one of those. I need an articulated crocodile. Snake.
How many times are you gonna almost say crocodile?
I know. You're all waiting for it, aren't you? You're all waiting for it. I need an articulated crocodile. Storm Shadow. Storm Shadow was the big one though. That's what got a lot of people's like to pop, didn't it? Was the finally getting the kind of classic Storm Shadow. Obviously Taboo came on and done the reveal for what did they rename him? Spirit Iron Knife, was it, or something like that? But it's Spirit, wasn't it? But he was cool. I really liked him. Who else did we have? Outback. That was a really cool one, like that old guy. His name's Stuart something, but Outback. But yeah. Oh, and that's it. The Spirit came with the Spirit came with the eagle, didn't it? Like the articulated eagles, an eagle that has like the you know what? I really liked it.
Articulated zoo, don't you?
That's what I was going to say. Like G.I. Joe, they've given us a wolf, they've given us a crocodile, they've given us give us some more animals.
Aslat project's going to be the Ark. Noah's Ark like next year, isn't it?
Unlock Noah's wife at 20,000 backers, and then get 25,000 backers, and you'll get one unicorn. The unicorn that didn't make it onto the Ark.
Yeah.
Oh,
you're not in a pair.
Warning, toys on upload.
I'm pretty sure by discussing Noah's wife, we've just been banned in like several Middle Eastern countries. I'm pretty sure of it.
No.
Previously, the Geek Week in Review. Come back with a new name.
Right. Okay. But
I was gonna say, I love the fact that Spirit, the fact that they've gone ahead and they've modernized it and gotten the actual backing of actual people,
indigenous people and stuff.
From the culture and stuff. I think that's a brilliant step forward, because there are so many figures from back in the 80s and 90s that were very cultural appropriation kind of.
Oh, just really bad stereotypes, weren't they? Like really awful stereotypes. Yeah. No, I really liked it, and I to address the kind of not the elephant in the room. I can't think of the right phrase, but the chat on the Hasbro Live Pulse Con at that point actually got a little bit disgusting, like some of the people in the chat. And I was really disappointed by that. Really? I was like, it
did on the live stream as well. When I was watching on the live, it got a bit touchy for a little bit. It was like, come on.
Yeah. There was not the chat that I was in, not the chat on the live stream. Yeah, sorry, that's what I meant. We were all talking about it, and was like, whoa, like the comments on that are quite, there was a few people that were just kind of like, just come on, get on with it, like show us some more. And it was like, no, you've got to acknowledge this, because this is they're addressing the issue of the past, or the issues that they've been in the past. They're getting past it, and they're giving us something new. But the one thing that really pissed me off about that, I'm not going to lie, is they gave him an articulated eagle, but they've now given us however many Falcons without a red wing. Like, it's like, come on, like, just give us you can give us an articulated eagle in G.I. Joe.
They finally have given one, but it's not going to be articulated. It's not for the scale you want.
I know. Yeah, I know.
Just to add insult to injury.
Yeah. But I was just like, this is not like, But anyway, that was my only gripe. And there were lots of exclusives, weren't there? And there was lots of kind of bits and pieces. But obviously we got sent over the what's his name figure, the Zartan, is it?
Zartan the Dreadnought.
Zartan, yeah. And I did not realise that if you put him in the freezer, he turns blue.
So funny story. I woke up stupidly early this morning. I was up at crack of dawn, as always. Little and woke me up, and I was reading through my comments on my video that I put up the night before. And someone put, you do realize if you put that in the freezer, he will go blue. And I was like, go away. So me being me, I was like, I'm going to experiment in the freezer for 20 minutes. Had a coffee, came back. The damn thing were bright blue. I'm like, whoa, camera time.
That's awesome.
And I made the little shot. But yeah, apparently the figure back in the day did that. Apparently the G.I. Joe back in the day turned blue if you put him in the freezer, got him cold. So they're just the repeating that with the new figure, basically. But yeah, it was very. We didn't even talk about it. It doesn't say anywhere on the box.
No, there was. Feature. You know, there was. I mean, it's an awesome figure, and it's having that in hand. Excuse me. Excuse me. But having that in hand actually made me go, you know what? I'm gonna jump into this line now. Even before the panel, when they sent me over that one as part of the box, I was like, that was enough to go, yep, I'm getting into this line. And they're still readily available enough that I can kind of go back and get some of the others. But then when I saw, yeah, exactly. And when I saw that he went blue, I was like, this is insane. This is really cool. I do not have an action figure at the moment that changes color in the freezer. Now I do. So yeah. So I think I'm going to jump in. But the one that really sold it for me was that Outback character. I just thought he looked cool. He looked like a bit badass, and they just seem to have like a whole load of accessories. The HasLab project didn't appeal to me. The big fighter jet, like the was it the Tomcat?
Doesn't appeal, but I have to say, I mean, that's probably one of the strongest like reveal, like to actually look at it, the way that it's just there's display stand and stuff. I was like, again, I don't really collect GI Joe, but even I was like, that's striking. Like that actually looks
massively.
Well, some of the other HasLab stuff they've got.
They've gone back, haven't they? They've gone back to the O-ring figures as well, and they kind of revealed a whole bunch of those, which was really cool. But then to kind of finish it with like, oh yeah, if you want it, here's a massive fighter jet with all these different pieces, and you can have like different fins so that you can put all the stickers on, and then if you want to change it, you just pop it off and put a different one on. Like it was a really strong HasLab, really strong HasLab, and they're going to sell it. And you could tell that they were confident it was going to sell because they already revealed all of the tiers. It's like there was no kind of we lost you, Ryan, now, but there was no
my video's gone a bit weird. I can hear you still, but the video's gone.
It's fun. That's right. But yeah, there was
as well. It's not even that much.
No, it really isn't. But to reveal all of those tiers in the detail that they did shows that they've got the confidence that it's gonna sell. So yeah, that was cool. It was a cool panel. There was a lot of detail. There's a lot of depth with it. There was a lot of guests and whatnot. Yeah, no, I was pleased with that one.
Ryan, your camera's off, bud.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to get it back and hear everything, but
we're just missing his. See, this is why he didn't get an invite. This is why.
Oh, sorry. Well, at least I was awake.
Mate, don't bring that up while we talk about GI Joe. That was at the point of the con where it looked like I was asleep. But I just want you to go back and have a look.
He cares now.
Have a look at the screenshot, and 90% of our things have clearly frozen, or because we're all like,
oh yeah, Lynn, my wife.
I'm taking them down with me.
Yeah.
My wife was laughing because every time it cut back to the Hasbro wall, she was saying like, you all look really enthused, because like even on my panel, there's me at the top going, whoa, like, everyone else is just sat there like just staring at the screen. It's like, it's the funniest thing ever.
It was that if they should have given us like a countdown in the chat that we're cutting back to you in 2 minutes, because then we would all go like. But anyway,
none of it was live. That's the thing. None of it was live. It was all pre-recorded segments, and they just stuck you in a little template. I think.
Stop ruining the magic for people.
No, because there was somebody in the chat with us, and occasionally they'd go, "Okay, big smiles," and it's like, "What? There's nothing happening." Oh, that's happening.
Hasbro have censored SuperSorrell.
I've always found Hasbro are firm but fair. If you want to have a poke at some of the stuff, that's fine, but just don't go overboard, and you're fine.
Yeah,
you've got to be honest.
I totally agree. But I'll be on. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, I totally agree. So what have we got? So that's. I'm trying to think what else.
That's you just went bam. What happened there?
Yeah,
it's what
you just completely went silent. I said all that about Hasbro, and you were like, "Yeah, I'm not getting involved."
I was like,
"No, I'll be back soon."
No, I completely agree. And while we're on the subject of that, if we're being firm and fair, this was an amazing 2 days, and it was great to be involved, and it was great to have all the products sent out before. But they were definitely much more about the show element than they were some of the products. I think, if I'm totally honest, there was less reveals than I was expecting across the board, and more of the kind of show element and the whatnot. But I suppose they're establishing themselves as a proper convention, because It's only really taken off because of lockdown, hasn't it? And it become kind of Hasbro Pulse Con, and obviously they've pulled out of various other conventions and stuff. But so I think, it's an obvious direction that they're going in, but it would be nice to have a little bit more.
When you're doing so many constant reveals like throughout consistently, I think it's hard to then have enough to really shock people with a reveal as much then, if that makes sense.
Well, it's funny. I was going to say almost exactly the same thing, because a lot of the comments in the community groups and stuff like that have been like, oh, it wasn't great, or, oh, was that it? And all that kind of stuff. But you've got to think of everything else that they give us throughout the year. Like Marvel Legends alone, there was like a live panel, a live stream, like every other week at one point, or every week, I think, for a couple of weeks. Yeah. And they were showing us new things, and they were talking about things in the pipeline, and they were building up. And then at the con, they showed us these things that they had talked about weeks ago. So it was kind of, it did work. But
there is something to remember as well. The programs and the films that they're going to make toys about for some of their biggest franchises haven't yet come out. we need to wait till after Christmas for the big reveals, because Spider-Man is going to definitely have some more reveals. It has to.
Oh, then definitely, without doubt.
Eternals, I'm pretty sure there's going to be something in Eternals that's going to shock us, and there's going to be some characters that are not announced yet. I'm pretty sure that's going to happen.
You not heard the spoiler?
I don't want to know. I don't know. Do I want to know?
I didn't want to know. I didn't want to know either. But
spoiler for what?
We could be tempted now at the end of the conversation. We'll have to have a little chat now.
Yeah, well, maybe I'll do it when the thing's off.
Spoiler for what? I missed
Eternals.
Oh yeah, no, I don't want to know any spoilers for that.
I'll just tell you though, it wasn't leaked. Somebody who went to the premiere, like the publicity viewings. I can't remember what the name of it's called, but where the press viewing or whatever, and then they all go out and they all kind of rank it and put their reviews in and stuff. And then one of the guys or girls that went to see it tweeted the post-credit scene in their review.
Okay.
So everyone was like, well, they're not getting invited again. But yeah.
You've still got Spider-Man Eternals. You've still got the Kenobi. You've still got the book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka.
You got Bad Batch coming back.
Bad Batch Andor, is it called?
Yeah.
They've got that one still to come. So it's like there's a lot going on in the franchises, but they just can't talk about it without giving us spoilers. So that's why the figures, I feel, are not out or revealed yet.
Yeah.
But come about March time next year, we're probably going to get bombarded with stuff again.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, if you think about the time that FanFest takes place normally, so FanFest is usually around the April, May time, isn't it? So I think that if they do another FanFest, that's when we're going to get a load of the reveals that people were expecting now. Yeah. So we did FanFest, don't we?
We get 2 a year, don't we?
And that's what I think a lot of people are forgetting. This is their big show. This is all the production. We've got people in the studio. We've got special guests. We've got musical, and the celebrity guests throughout the con were really good. Like they were really good. Yeah. But yeah. So anyway, we digress. Let's go back. What have we got left?
Don't we always digress?
I think that's the point of it, isn't it? That's the point of a podcast. Is not just to chat, to talk, to discuss.
Before we move on to Star Wars and Marvel, there was obviously Fortnite as well, but I don't know. Yeah. I thought that was I don't know. Was that? They weren't the characters I'd have chosen.
No,
I've never played it.
You need to play it. It's actually a decent game. I'm not even going to lie. Like
I have for an easy. Look at what a mess. Oh, you can't see what a mess. I've hidden it with a rug background. But this is such a mess. I ain't got time to start a new game.
You know what? My son got me into it. He was playing it with his mates and he was like, "Right, you've got to play it." And I was like, "Mate, I played Sonic the Hedgehog with like 3 lives and clocked it. So let me show you how gaming's done." And he's like, "You're not a gamer. You're not a gamer." Went in my first ever game, and I got a victory royale. And he was just like, "How did you do that?" I was like, literally dropped the control. I was like, "I'm out, motherfucker." I didn't say that to my kid. But no, I was just doing the good old fashioned sort of 90s tactic of button bashing. Just
what's victory royale?
Where's a motherfucker going?
That's a good thing, I'm guessing.
It's where you win.
It's when you win. So there's 100 of you, 100 players, and you're the last one standing. I tell you what. Okay. Have you seen Hunger Games?
Yeah.
Right. So it's essentially Hunger Games with like plunger guns and sharks you can ride on. But that's essentially it. You're all dropped in. Yeah, you're all dropped into the map. You run around, find weapons, and you take each other out. But it's an easy pick up, put down game, and like I've not played it for months and months. But what got me hooked was the Marvel crossover. That was what really got me hooked in it. And I got the battle pass for the Marvel crossover, got all the costumes, loved all the locations and everything like that. Stayed around for Mandalorian and then kind of dropped off a little bit after that. But going back to the toys, it felt like a really young panel. Like it hadn't matured. They weren't kind of, they didn't have the same kind of setup and charisma that the others. The one thing that I was really pleased about as a reveal were them little arcade machines, the little accessory packs. Now that was genius, because so many people get the card printout ones for like action figure photography and stuff like that. So to have a physical plastic arcade
cabinet
is brilliant. So I'll definitely
pick up a couple of those. Some because you're going to have Spider-Man at the arcade or something, aren't you?
Oh, without a doubt. I think as soon as they drop and as soon as they're kind of readily available,
they'll sell out.
They will sell because people will want them. They'll repaint them. You'll see Street Fighters. You'll see, like, as soon as I saw it, I imagined like the Simpsons game. Do you remember the old Simpsons arcade game? And like Mortal Kombat or something like that. Just all these kind of arcade games. So they were genius, and that was my favorite bit about the panel. The reveals, like you say, they were just kind of
my thought on it was, obviously they've taken over the line, or they're continuing the line from McFarlane or whatever, and I'm not sure if McFarlane is still doing them.
It was Chaps as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, and for me, I don't know why they're covering all ground by giving us Cuddles Team Leader yet again, just a different variant. We've already had these figures. It's like, surely they could have done new skins. There's thousands of skins in Fortnite.
Yeah.
And they keep choosing the same 6 or 7. Every company chooses the same ones. And like people in the chat going, oh, give us Drift. I'm like, don't give us Drift. We've got 4 Drifts already in the range. We don't need any more. But we'll see what comes of it. There's still a very young line, like you say. It's brand new, more or less. Well, it's brand new.
Yeah. The one thing I will say is obviously, again, in our beautiful box from Hasbro, we got a couple of those figures.
And Meowskulls.
Sky and Meowskulls, Shadow Meowskulls. I was corrected by my son. I was like, well, I know it says that on the box, but as figures go though, they were pretty good. They were pretty decent figures. They're really well made, and they're a massive upgrade on the previous ones we've had from other brands. So I think the line has potential.
My daughter has not put Sky down since I opened it. Basically, I've got the review on the channel. She has not stopped playing with that little Sky figure all like for the past day. Yeah,
my son's the same. Absolutely loves it. And he went, "She's quite good looking though, isn't she?" I was like, "Yeah, she's all right." He went, "It's based on Adventure Time. Did you know that?" I didn't know that. I was like, "Is it?" I was like, "Is it?" I don't know. Like it's got a very Adventure Time look to it though, hasn't it? The character, but I realize that. But I was like, I don't know whether you're just putting 2 franchises together and hoping I don't know any better, or whether you're giving me a little bit of information there. But they are really well put together figures, and I think
find out if it's true, please welcome Josh's toys.
But I do hope that I hope the line continues. I think the biggest difficulty with a thing like Fortnite is that the if I gave my son £20 to spend on Fortnite, he would spend it on Fortnite, not on a figure.
Yeah.
And that's the difficulty, I think, with such a big game franchise, is that obviously takes your money.
Do you think those figures are made for his age? Do you think that?
No,
they're made for us, mate.
They are. They're made for
you guys, and they're also made for people who want to get their nephew a present. But what is he into? Fortnite. That'll do.
Yeah. But they are good figures. So I look forward to what that panel is going to do. So let's get into the big 2 then. Let's go. Where are we going first? Star Wars or Marvel?
Whichever you want to do. Whichever we think.
Let's do it in the order that they did it then. Let's do Star Wars first, and then we'll finish up on Marvel.
You guys have got to leave with the Black Series stuff because, well, let's first of all, can we talk about the HasLab? We're finally getting a HasLab Yaddle. It's been really widely requested. It's going to be 40 inches tall. I
thought you were going to say like 3 inches tall.
No,
250 pounds, 50,000 No, but the HasLab, so the Rancor.
It's too expensive for what it is.
It's a higher price point than I thought it was going to be. That I will divulge as information. I thought it was going to be a lower price point.
It looks awesome, but it
does look good. It's huge.
they needed to tease us with some reveals of what's going to come with it. We needed an updated Jedi Luke, maybe, or even Ula. We needed she's called Ula, isn't she? The green bullet.
The one that gets dropped in.
Yeah, we need her. Or just
Rancor Keeper.
Yeah, things that go with it. You know what I mean? We needed other items to tease us to go. Actually, if you back it, guys, these are the things that could come. You know what I mean?
You know what?
Something to go off.
You know what I think would be an amazing tier. That like what do they call it? Something tier. Can't remember.
The
tier unlock tier. Yeah. And if they do this, then I'm going to claim credit for the idea. But for one of the tiers to be the version of the Rancor that we saw in Bad Batch,
that would be amazing.
How good would that be to have like baby Rancor? That's kind of, it would be about 8 inches in comparison to the Black Series figures, wouldn't it? But to kind of give that as an unlock.
Well, that's a deluxe figure that's coming out next year.
Yeah. I think the thing as well, like for that much money, I would expect it to have like a base or some kind of diorama aspect to it, which would be pretty inexpensive because it could just be a solid piece. But you know, I don't know. For the money, I thought it was going to be like, so we all knew it was coming. It wasn't really much of a secret, but like, I think the most thing I was shocked about was actually the price for it. I thought it'd be cheaper.
Yeah, no, I do agree.
I considered it, even though I don't collect Black Series. I just thought to have a Black Series scale Rancor with my normal figures and call it like, you know, Mega Rancor, you know, something like that. You know, like I thought that would be pretty awesome, but not at that price.
Yeah, it was too expensive. It was way too expensive.
Beautiful but expensive.
You think it'll get backed?
Oh yeah, because it will.
It's already got quite a few backers. It's got less than the normal requirement. I think it's only got it's 9,000.
Yeah, it's not very high, is it? It isn't. I didn't think it was high. I'd be interested to see the tiers though. I'm looking forward to following it, but it's definitely not one that I need in my collection. But I thought it looked good. There was one shot that really got it for me. It was the one where they had like the arm stretched out, and then it was kind of like this kind of pose, and that just made it look proper cool. Like from a photography point of view, to have that articulation on a figure and the kind of the depth of field and stuff. Like, yeah, that's
there
awesome.
You go. It's currently at 3,335 backers out of 9,000.
It's good. Okay.
So it's already there. It's got 43 days still, and they've done no other reveals yet. So it would definitely make it.
Yeah, we'll get
it. For me, it's a case of it's $349.99. That is the. I've just worked out. I could either buy that or I could get 7 of the Cantina playsets.
Oh, I'd get 7 of those. Build up a big.
That's what I mean. You could build an entire world Cantina, or you could get a great big monster that you're going to sit on your shelf and not use.
Yeah, exactly. So let's go down the line then. So, we're going vintage or Black Series?
We'll go TVC.
Yeah,
smash out some TVC first.
I was excited by TVC, to be honest. I've been saying this slowly as the weeks go on. I've been getting more and more into TVC.
Yeah,
I'm all about the TVC, yo.
Yeah, it was. I was pleasantly surprised having that Emperor's box set, Emperor's throne room in hand.
Yep, saw the review. Want it even more now. Because I was unsure when I first saw it. I actually then questioned myself whether to order it or not. Then I watched your review and realized that the box unfolds and stuff and makes more of a diorama. And I was like, oh, actually, maybe that makes a bit more. Because originally I was like, it's going to cost me with the shipping. I was like 36 quid for just the circle and the throne and the figure. So, I was on the fence, and then I saw when it all folds out. So yeah, that I'm getting that.
I didn't realize that until I started filming either, which was really nice. But I've said before, like when I saw that revealed, I was like, you know what, I don't collect 3 3/4 inch, but I'll get myself a Vader and a Luke. And annoyingly, I had a Luke. I ordered it by accident, and I gave it away to someone because I was like, I don't collect these ones, so I gave it away to my friend. I can't really go back and ask for it back because they gave it to their kid. just want that back, thank you. But
to get out the child's hand.
Yeah, I don't care if you're playing with it. Where's his accessories? Like, but just inspecting the lightsaber. No, but so I get a Vader and Luke. I'm going to have it as a setup. But then when I opened it up, I was like, I can't actually, even if I'm going to review this, I can't take it out of the box unless I can get those 2 figures. And if I can't, then I'll, gift it on somewhere. But yeah, it's a beautiful piece. It really is a really good exclusive, and the box just screams exclusive because of all that opening and stuff.
A lot of people, because I see, and this annoyed me a little bit. A lot of people have been moaning saying, "Yeah, but it's on your cardboard diorama," and I'm like, you do realize that all in the 70s and 80s they were all cardboard dioramas. That's all they gave us. It was like one piece of plastic with a load of cardboard that made a playset. That is exactly what that set is. It's a recreation of a vintage set. Yeah, it's like it is old school in its production. I like it.
I don't see the figure as the box. I see the figure is the window, the throne,
everything,
the emperor,
box, everything,
and all the stuff. But then no, I see the box that comes with it. For me, was a bonus because I thought that I'd open the box. I didn't realize it popped out as a diorama, so I thought it was just that window and the cardboard back and the throne and everything. So when I opened it up and I was like, oh wow, this really is massive. I was like excited, and it was a bonus. I wasn't saying to complain about.
Me.
Yeah. It's the packaging team on that is brilliant.
We need more stuff like that.
Yeah,
we need more like that.
The vintage collection is definitely getting there. One thing for me about the 3/3/4 inch that I can never get my head around is like the cloaks and the robes and stuff. Like they always look too big. Like and I get it. It's difficult to kind of make it in that scale, but it just broke the illusion for me. Like they're too big. The Emperor worked because it fits kind of thing, but like you look at the Jedi's,
robot chicken,
and but
it's a massive cloak. What do you expect? It's good for getting in. It's loungewear. Give me a break. Harkin, they're taking the piss out of my robe again.
But like the Jedi's and that, like the Jedi robes just look too big for me. But
I never put them on. I always take them off. I don't use the robes. I think they look ridiculous. No. I always take them off. Always.
Yeah.
Oh, very. Look at that. It's always revealing. Hello.
It is. I
always take the robes off.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that a little while ago they said they weren't like they gave us the fan vote, didn't they? And they said that it was the trooper that won, wasn't it? Yeah,
Old Republic trooper. Yeah.
Obviously, Ahsoka was in that wave with him. Then they said, we'll only choose one, but they've actually gone and redone Ahsoka as well for us in TVC.
Brought around, yeah.
There was no way they weren't gonna do it because it's just got too much hype. That's too much money just sitting on the table for a figure you've already got the sculpt for, you've already got the packaging, is guaranteed to sell. It's just.
Well, isn't this going to be the fourth time that figure's been used now? Because I'm pretty sure she came out in the Black Series 3-inch in that same figure. It was the same one as the original TVC figure, wasn't it? It was a
I think it was at least 3. I think it was at least the 3rd. But you're right, it might be 4 actually. Because I remember when the your money's worth.
Because I remember when the Black Series one came out, like 2017, say 18, something like that. And I remember when that came out, and everybody went mental for it. Trying to find that Ahsoka on the shelf was in Asda was ridiculous. It was in Asda as well. Yeah. She went for silly money, and I managed to find one in my local Asda. I was so over the moon. So I've got like the Black Series one, but now I'm obviously going to get the TVC one. I've never had the TVC one. I know that one goes for stupid money. So I'm glad to be able to add that to my collection now.
Yeah. It's really mad for me. Like Ahsoka is brilliant. And I only watched the Clone Wars like for the first time, like I think maybe a year or so ago. So good. And she's now like one of my favorite Star Wars characters, like a lot of people. And I was like, how have I denied myself this character for so long, but yet classed myself as a Star Wars fan? Like she's amazing. But like you said, they could literally release. They could have put a cup up on that table with Ahsoka's face on it, and pre-orders would have gone up. Yeah. She's just money,
And just while we're on the subject of Ahsoka, did everyone see the fact that Hayden Christensen is definitely confirmed as being in Ahsoka?
Yeah,
so they're gonna meet in live action for the first time.
He's sitting there going like, I've got work again.
It's like, granted, it says Anakin, but still, I'm like,
it's the fact that
as long as it's not sand.
He's going to be obviously in Obi-Wan Kenobi as the up-and-coming Darth Vader. Like he's going to be the moving on version from thingy. So I've got a feeling that for Ahsoka, he's going to be his Force Ghost coming back to help Ahsoka. I think that's what it is. I think it's going to be his Force Ghost version because at the end of the last film, the CGI'd Hayden Christensen, and didn't they? They changed it to Hayden Christensen's Force Ghost.
Yeah. That's a good shout.
Canon now. So I've got a feeling it's going to be Hayden as a Force Ghost.
That's a really good shout. I was really hoping for a flashback scene. That's what it was going to be, and we were going to see like something from the Clone Wars in live action with those two, like just something short, but you could recognize it and go, "Oh, that's so from the Clone. That's that bit from the Clone Wars."
You might still get that.
Yeah, they'd have to do one hell of a CGI on the faces though to make them look younger, because obviously Rosario Dawson and him are both knocking on a bit.
I don't know. They
probably easier when she's red. I mean, it's probably easier to do that.
Yeah. That's a really good shout though. Actually, Force Ghost kind of guiding her.
Great one.
It's that would be cool. Or even just something from Rebels. Like we could go down the Rebels line and sort of see him as Vader. And
do you think we'll ever see Ahsoka Tano meet Rey? Do you think she'll ever live that long in the franchise to actually?
I don't know.
It's doable.
But her voice. The thing is, her voice is obviously heard at the end bit. With I am.
Oh, as a Force ghost. Of course she is. I forgot about that.
So that kind of
dies at some point.
That she's going to cop it at some point. But it might be from old age. The other thing as well is, I don't know if you noticed, I just don't think Disney seemed that invested in the sequel trilogy anymore.
No, they don't.
I
would very much be happy if they said, you know what, Force Awakens and the rest of them are scrapped. Let's start again. I'd be all up for that.
I don't know though. I like that. See, I like the Han Solo kind of story, like that. Him and Leia had problems, and then their son went rogue. Like I kind of like that. Like I reckon my prediction: 10 years from now, everyone's going to rant and rave about him. That's where it'll be. That'll be the best Star Wars films ever.
It's like the prequels all over again.
It was exactly the same with the prequels. Yeah. When the prequels came out, everyone hated them. Everyone hated them. It was so hard to find someone to have a conversation with. No, but it was hard to find.
Yeah, you are right. It was difficult. To justify why you liked them. It was a hard time.
It's but now people are just so like, it's Star Wars, isn't it? Like,
it's like when that Clone Wars movie came out. The OG fans went mental.
Yeah.
and now Clone Wars is considered some of the best of Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly. I would say though, the problem with the sequel trilogy. So while I enjoy it, there's not the same flow to it, which is why I think it struggles a bit. It doesn't have a consistently like story wise. It's a bit up and down. I've offended Ash. He's gone now.
It's just like you like. He's like you like. You like the
I'll tell
sequels?
you, Jake. I'm done.
I'm out.
I'm waiting until I'll keep talking at you until you leave, and it's just going to be me. Ryan Speaks Geek in the review. No, son of a bit.
I wouldn't do that to you. I would do that.
Back in narcoleptic. But yeah, but the biggest thing to me was the waste of Finn's character. I mean, that's as much as I really enjoy the sequel trilogy, I still maintain that was one of the biggest crimes of it. Was just you had this really like Force Awakens. He was done really well. Like he was a stormtrooper. Like we never had that. And then I feel like they didn't know what to do with him in the next two films. They just seem to have him and not really know how to deal with it. And it sucks because actually, as a concept, such a good idea to have a
I just think that
rogues.
I think that there was so much potential with the films. What annoyed me was the similarities in the story, as in the rogue person who doesn't know their parents, and then they find this, and it was just too similar. It was like they were trying to modernize it and replicate the story that worked so well. But I personally speaking, no, exactly. But personally speaking, I think they massively underutilized Kylo Ren. I really do because
Kylo and Finn, the two most underused.
But you had the whole Knights of Ren as well that you didn't even really see. But that's what I mean. I've had this argument through so many community groups, and when you talk about Kylo Ren, I hands down still think Kylo Ren is one of the better Star Wars villains. Like when you rank them, he would be up there in the kind of top however many. For the main reason being is that he's done for my children's generation what Darth Vader did for me.
Oh yeah.
And that's what people are overlooking, especially adult fans. They're like, oh yeah, it's rubbish, he's crap, blah blah blah. And it's like, no, you look outside, kids have got him on the t-shirts, on lunchboxes, on costumes. Kids are scared of him. You go to places and he comes out and that he's scary. And that's what a Star Wars villain needs to be. It needs to be a badass costume that you're kind of I kind of want to wear that. And he needs to be kind of scary. We didn't need to see him with his top off. You didn't need to see him with his top off. That was too much. I mean, the guy's, jacked. It's like whatever. Yeah. But some of my favorite Kylo Ren sketches, without a doubt, is the undercover boss comedy sketches.
Yeah.
I don't know. Have you seen the bad lip reading one? Have you seen the bad lip reading?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The one where he's got the bird on his finger. Look, he likes it. That just fits too well for that scene.
Yeah.
We're doing it again. We're going so off track.
I know.
So other vintage collection reveals. We had another Mandalorian, because what I was really worried about is that there wasn't enough Mandalorian figures of the Mandalorian. So soon we'll be able to have the monthly Mando, which is going to be great. But it does come with all the spiders, which is really cool.
Well, it comes with all of them. It comes with a few of them, a couple of spiders.
But now I feel like I need to get the Black Series one to get a spider in scale with the 3.
No, the Black Series one is too small as well. Hang on a minute. Let me get the spider.
I know which one you're getting.
Galaxy's Edge one.
Galaxy's Edge spider. Show it off. Yeah.
But the thing is, won't that be cool though if you had that, the Black Series little ones. One, and all the smaller ones? That would make the diorama. That would, if you got those 3 components, that one, the one that walks and everything, the ones from the Black Series, and then the Vintage Collection ones as a series, like that would look really cool all together, different sizes.
He looks really big, actually. He looks a lot bigger than I thought he was, Sorrell.
Oh, it's making noise.
Does it make noises as well?
Do you hissing?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's like hisses.
Smooth fuzz.
Is it Galaxy's Edge? That was...
Yes, this is the Galaxy's Edge one. You basically you pull the top off to put new batteries in it. Oh, whoa! He's going. Whee!
It moves as well.
Yeah,
I think you can get it on the Disney store at the moment.
Oh mate, I'm gonna have to get that.
Available at Disney. But the reason I like this one is because it's actually in scale. In Rebels, when Kanan is stood opposite those great big spiders, they are bigger than him, and he puts his hand out, and his hand is like up to there on them.
Yeah,
it's like he's not as tall as them. So I mean, that Black Series one, to see that, I was like, are they baby versions?
But the good thing was, but in the Mandalorian though, obviously they were all different sizes, weren't they?
Yeah,
in that episode,
wasn't it? It was in.
Yeah, and I think what was a really good move from the Black Series team or the Star Wars team is that releasing the different scales with the different figures, because any kind of completionist will go, well, like, even if I don't collect vintage, I'm going to have to get them just so I can get the smaller ones to go with my bigger ones and all the rest. Yeah. So I think that was a good move.
Admittedly, since they've announced that Black Series set with the spiders and the frost look to him with the snow, I've actually cancelled my pre-order for the mudded one.
Yeah. Oh, really?
I prefer the frosty one to the muddy one, so I've cancelled my muddy order now. I think a lot of people might do the same because the muddy one
more dynamic
didn't look as good, and the frosty one looks nice.
Yeah, and you get the
Grogu accessories
and the spider. Yeah.
You're still getting the Grogu.
I hope they don't overkill it though, because it's you've got Mando, you've got Beskar, you've got muddy Beskar, you've got like snowy Beskar. Like, what you're gonna have like Malibu Beskar?
I don't think we're gonna
Malibu Mando in his dream car.
I don't think we'll see another Mando product for a while now. I think that'll be it, because they're gonna milk Boba Fett to death now.
As if we hadn't had enough Boba Fett figures, there are definitely some coming.
Everyone was saying, why aren't they revealed any of season 2 Boba Fett's looks? Why is it just the one figure? Like, because the program's coming out, they're gonna milk that for all it's worth.
Yeah,
you're gonna get Mando figures for the release of Boba Fett.
Was that all together? Was that all the vintage collection stuff?
No,
the cover.
Oh no, sorry,
we had with the 4-inch troop pack. The next one they've decided to do, the troop builder one.
Yeah.
That way before they announced it originally, and predictably it's the Rebel Fleet troopers, which is really good. Again, they've sort of tackled the fact that even though there's no sort of racial diversity in that opening scene, they have actually included some racial diversity in the box set, which is good because it makes it look more realistic and just more grounded in reality. Which is a weird thing to say about Star Wars, more grounded in reality, but you know what I mean. And they had the Navarro Cantina playset, which I'm on the fence about it. I was disappointed a bit because it's a bit two dimensional. I wanted something a bit more depth to it, and I know it's another one of those ones where if you get 2, you can make it. It's like,
you know what? When they said that, that was the point where I was like, oh, that's not good, because they did it with the 6-inch Cantina, and it was kind of like here, and the one that they sent out to us, and it's a lovely playset on its own. But the fact that they kind of go buy 2 and you're going to get, but for that one you don't need 2 of the figures, like, you know what I mean, because then you've just doubled up. And then when they did that with the vintage collection, and they said, oh, and like with the other playsets, if you get another one, it doubles up and makes it twice as good. I was like, that's bad. Like, essentially what you've set now as a precedent is that your playsets, you need to have more than one.
They did that with the corridor, the
corridor as well.
Starship. Yeah, you could build obviously along the corridor, put doors on
freezing
it.
chambers set.
Yeah. At least with the vintage collection ones, the kind of figure that they're including is one that if you get 2, that's a bonus, like, because they work.
They stick to the troop builder stuff. At least the Jabba's Palace one was a one and done. Coincidentally, I got mine second hand, and it had a second set of walls in it, so it's made mine even more awesome, which is really funny.
Nice.
But like, the other problem with this one, with the 2 sets, so when you look at the picture, again, I think it's beautifully sculpted. I think the accessories of all the bottles and stuff like that, and the glasses are amazing. I think that's a really awesome thing. And the fact you can change the window to a blasted out window to a clean window, awesome. Again, lovely play feature. But if you have got the one set and you have the door on the side, you'll notice you get 3 hexagonal holes where it then plugs in to something else. And if you don't have that second one, it really takes you out of the play set. I know it sounds like a weird thing to say, but if you look at it, you just suddenly have the very obvious connector holes. They haven't even sort of textured it to make it look slightly different. It's just smooth plastic, big holes for where you plug the door in. And it's, Mate,
you want to talk about unnecessary holes? You've seen the Venom figure.
Where are you going with this?
You've seen the Venom figure. Like, come on. That dude has just got holes in his shoulders that just don't even have any. At least this Cantina, the Cantina though, that you kind of go, well, there, if I get another one, I can plug it in.
Yeah, but if
Venom's just got holes. You could just connect them together. No, right. Yeah, no, the vintage collection impressed me. I'm not going to lie. It impressed me. It's not a line that I massively collect. It's one that, obviously, Emperor Throne Room is probably going to be the extent of my 3 3/4 inch. But I was impressed. Again, it was one of them ones where I was like, yep, that's good. That's good. Like,
And obviously, we're still getting, there's the little Anakin Skywalker as well, Mace Windu, and Obi-Wan Kenobi, all re-releases. You don't see much little Anakin merch, so I'm happy to have that.
Yeah, that is cool.
I do have Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. I have them all in that vintage style, so now I've got the little Anakin to go with them, so I'm very, very happy.
It's got the little training drone as well, which I'm a sucker for tiny droids.
Yes. So then Black Series, let's go on there. So obviously the Cantina playset was the exclusive.
We got the Cantina playset, and we got the Wolf. What do you call him?
Trapper Wolf set. Dave Filoni figure. And we were lucky enough to get sent both of those, which was amazing. And as I said, I think I said in my review, I was well made up to get that Trapper Wolf because it was an exclusive I wanted that I didn't think I would actually. I wasn't going to go and buy it because I just couldn't justify it. But
I might actually get that one.
I tell you what, it's a good figure. It's
just because it's Dave Filoni. I just want a Dave Filoni and a George Lucas. That'd be fine for me for Black Series.
That's exactly what I said. I was just like, I need it. We spoke about this weeks ago, didn't we? About like a creator setup. So to have Dave Filoni, I've got John Favreau. I can never say his name. Go on, John.
Last week
John
you couldn't
Favreau.
say Dave Filoni. This week you
Dave
can't
Filoni,
stop insulting all the people who made our thing we love.
I've got George Lewis. Is his name? No, and George Lucas, and then I've got Stan Lee, obviously. So I really hope they carry on with this because there is something really cool. You saw the picture I threw together, like with the behind the scenes of the Mando. Like, even just to be able to do little things like that was kind of cool. Like
that was a very cool picture, dude.
It was quite funny.
It was very well done.
And you got Grogu's head being pulled off because but you know what? Shall I tell you what actually gave me the inspiration for that picture, right? Just as a little bit before we go on to the back series. So obviously I've got the John Favreau figure. I've got the Trapper Wolf, the Dave Filoni. I had Grogu, I had the Mando. But what gave me the inspiration to do it was the accessory that came in the Ghostbusters, which was the little remote control.
Yeah.
So you got a little remote control, but no car, no RC car. And I was like, well, what's this control? I was like, oh, it looks like something could like control a puppet. And I was like, oh, puppet. Like,
you know where it is in the film, the control? You know where it is?
It's the trap, isn't it? Yeah. But I was really annoyed. I was like, why didn't they give us that trap on the wheels? Like that would be really cool. But and that's what made me think of it. Oh, does it?
Comes with the Phoebe figure. Yeah.
There you go. But yeah, so getting that little accessory of a remote control, I was like, oh, actually, and then it all kind of fell into place. It was like Dave Filoni, and yeah, so that's where it went. But yeah, so it's definitely a cool figure.
And the sale of Happy Hogan's went up about 100% after that release.
I bet. Yeah, I really do bet. But no, it was cool, and it was cool that they kind of talked about, you know, Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau talking over the phone and stuff like that, and it was just cool. I like these things, but it's definitely worth picking up if you get a chance. The Cantina's a nice set. It's a nice set. It's another one I've not opened yet, just because I kind of can't bring myself to open it just yet. But yeah, I mean, we saw that weeks ago, didn't we? So we don't really need to talk too much about that.
That was the second thing I opened. I got really excited. I had to do Power Rangers first because I looked and there was nobody else reviewing that online. Nobody had that. Everyone had jumped onto the Cantina straight away.
Yeah.
So I thought I'll make sure mine goes up a different day. So I did Finster first, then the Cantina. And yeah, that Cantina set is amazing.
I haven't touched the Cantina yet. I will open it. I'll maybe get to it next week. But we saw that months ago, didn't we? That's been on the radar. So what else do we have Black Series wise? Obviously, we talked about Snowy Mando.
So we've got the Snowy Mando builder set, which we've already talked about. We're getting the Mayfield tank driver version. Yep. We're getting the Tython Boba Fett and Cobb Vanth.
I was disappointed with both of those, the Cobb figure and the Boba figure. I thought the Boba figure, I've seen better customs, like people out there who kind of threw it together using like Darth Maul legs and whatnot. And there's much better customs than that version, I think. And it always kind of disappoints me a little bit when they kind of release a figure and then you've seen better versions of it already.
Well, let's not forget that's just the first one. We're going to get 1,000 more. So.
Oh yeah,
second one is on the way at some point.
Yeah, you know
House
that.
of 1,000 Fets.
It will literally be a like a 2-pack or a re-release or a deluxe or something.
What kind of upset me a little bit, and I have to talk about it. Cobb Vanth has the same accessories as the original Mandalorian release, except this figure is now classed as a deluxe for a little bit more money. But you get the exact same accessories that the original Mandalorian came with as a single release figure.
Yeah, I picked up on that. That was a point. There was a few points within the Star Wars panel where I was kind of like, that's a low move for the fans. Like that's you like cashing in on something you know will sell, because everyone's asked for that figure since, what was it, episode 2? Was it?
Yeah,
it was right at the beginning, wasn't it? Right. Everyone's been asking for it, and it's another one that a load of people have customized. And we all knew it was going to come at some point, but to kind of, like you say, throw it in a bigger box for nothing more than what we've had previously.
It's annoying.
I actually think the Black Series box sets were the better reveal for Black Series. I thought they were the most exciting bit. The creatures and
the creatures and the droids. Yeah, but are they both Galaxy's Edge?
All 3 are Galaxy's Edge. There's 3 Galaxy's Edge sets coming.
What was the third one?
So we've got the Galaxy's Edge sets.
The Imperials.
The First Order 3 pack, which is the Mouse Droid, General Hux, and the AT-AT driver. They're now based from the Rise of the Resistance ride. That's what they're based on.
Okay.
Cool. So that the reason you get the droid in that pack with them is because that's the droid that drives the vehicle in the ride. That's your escape droid. Then you get in the droid depot pack, which is the pit droid, CB23, and I think there was another
battle droid, K2SO, and also
battle droid
Babu Frick as well. Yeah, interesting fun fact: Babu Frick is voiced by Moaning Myrtle from Harry Potter.
That's quite funny.
Yeah.
There
you go.
See, we're also educational on this show. The more you know.
You know what? The creatures pack, when it came out, I know you said that when I first saw it, I was like, oh man, like there could have been more in it. But then the longer it was on the screen, the more I liked it. And then by the end of their kind of showcase of it, I was kind of like, yeah, I kind of want that.
I'm having that.
As we get in, as they've obviously redone Salacious Crumb for the Black Series, is that a little hint that we might get him later on in one of the play sets? Are we going to get a Jabba's Palace play set, and that's why he's been re-released?
I think so.
Because wasn't that one of the Power of the Force releases?
I think so.
Wasn't there a Jabba? There were Jabba set as a part of
Well, Jabba's so Power of the Force. You had the Jabba that I used to very beautifully demonstrate that it was an action figure of myself. It was based off the special edition scene that was added to A New Hope. The actual for an updated Jabba the Hutt following that, it was quite a while. I don't think it was until Saga, I think we got an updated one, which came with only one part of the throne, like almost like his armrest with the bubble. But we haven't actually had a full throne set for a long, long time. So I think they could do like what the vintage one has with the actual bed, and the base. I think you're right. I think that could be on the horizon, the whole set.
There's got to be a reason why they've redone Salacious Crumb. It can't just be for a Galaxy's Edge.
No, it'll be for that. Give us a human. Yeah, it's a Hondo.
Because he normally comes with the lizard as well from the 3¾ inch version of the space, the lizard as well.
Yeah. Hondo was also a Galaxy's Edge release, wasn't he? He was readily available now, but originally he was. He was in one of those packs.
So basically, they all got released as one of those big 4 packs, and they were only available at Disneyland, Disney World. And then eventually, they obviously realized they needed to use them sculpts to make money, so they basically re-released them as a part of the Target exclusive Galaxy's Edge sets during lockdown. And then our Disney stores and that started getting all the Galaxy's Edge merch because all the parks were shut, which I think was a smart move. And I don't think they should ever just go, this is a Galaxy's Edge exclusive. I think there should definitely be some stuff that's exclusive, but that's a big Black Series pack that a lot of people will pay money for. That should be a general release.
Well, Hondo is one of the few characters that I've kept, to be honest with you. Him and Cad Bane, they're 2 of the figures that I've actually kept. I want to see a human Jabba the Hutt as well from the deleted scene. Because he became canon, didn't they? Because they wrote him into the books, like the character that. Have you seen that in the comic book?
No.
I can't remember now. I'm gonna have to look it up. But there was a comic book where there's a character in the comic book that resembles that character in that deleted scene with the same kind of furry thing, and so they kind of made it canon, if that makes sense. But yeah, do us a human Jabba the Hutt. That's when they're really going to be scraping the bottom of the barrel, isn't it?
So now that I have the Cantina set, and now that I have the Droid Depot set as well. My plan in January is to start building an actual 3¾ inch Galaxy's Edge. I'm going to try and recreate Galaxy's Edge in 3¾
Oh,
that is my plan for next year. I'm going to make a video series trying to make the whole diorama, make it so they're all separate pieces, but they can sit together and create the whole street scene.
That would be very cool.
Because obviously
that would be
Galaxy's
very
Edge.
cool.
Well, we got the new Mandalorian, the Cantina set coming. I've got 2 of those on order to make the full Cantina set. We've got the Droid Depot set behind me. I can't wait to use that. And I'm just gonna plop them all together and stick it all together.
Any pictures of what 2 of the sets look like together yet?
No, they haven't. Annoyingly,
I still haven't seen what it looks like if you put 2 together, which would probably influence my decision.
Yeah, that's really cool. That is really cool.
That is my plan.
I look forward to seeing that. Was that for Star Wars?
No, we had the Force Effects Elite Leia Organa lightsaber.
The lightsaber, of course.
With the 2 different emitters.
Yes.
Looks very cool.
The mother of pearl in it, as they keep saying.
I kept saying it, didn't I?
Yeah.
It doesn't do smooth fuzz though, so I'm not gonna bother.
You know what? It's a shame about why we talk about lightsabers. Like, I think that Black Series kind of missed the boat a little bit because there are so many third-party sellers, like even the place where I got my lightsaber from, that are able to do the hilts, the official hilts, but just call them something else, and they're a better product, or they're a more expensive product for but they feel more expensive. They're made out of more metals and less plastics, whatever. But I don't know. It's just I think that like Black Series just missed the boat a little bit with that.
Well, yeah, because as well, even if I know people aren't a fan of the ones that you get in the parks at Disney, but they released that box set with Luke and Leia's lightsabers together in a box that when you opened up made this the noise and everything.
Did you see some people got sent that as a gift? Like, I was like, that would have been incredible. Can you imagine opening up a box from somebody and it plays you music? I'm still waiting for that. But that was a really nice set, actually.
I can offer you a FedEx guy and a trumpet. That's the best I can do.
It's a barbershop quartet and an Amazon package. But yeah, no, I do think they missed the boat a little bit. But I think that the helmets is where the Black Series kind of props really excel. I really do.
Need a new sculpt though. We've had too many. We've had the the Wedge repaint, we've had the Troopers repaints, we've had the Boba Fett helmet. Surprisingly, been done to death. There's 4 versions of that now.
Is there are 4? I thought it was more.
But there's the prototype. There's original Boba, Mando repainted Boba, like so it's all fresh paint. Prototype Proto Boba, so Proto Fett, and then they've repainted one into sort of like the Death Watch one from Mando. So,
oh yeah,
I mean, like you said, it's going to be like Caribbean Cruise Mando helmet. You know, like that's going to be the next year.
I was really impressed with the Mandalorian helmet though. When I opened that up, I was blown away by that. Like it's everybody I've shown it to.
Awesome.
Yeah, but everyone I've shown it to thinks it is made of Beskar. Like they're like, wow, like that's really like it's made of Beskar. I was like, yeah, don't shoot me or hit me with anything because it will break. It's like, but it looks really cool. It looks really nice in the cabinet. Yeah, was there anything else? We had
the pipeline reveals.
Layers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Pipeline reveals. So we know that in the Black Series we are going to be getting the Return of the Jedi Leia in the Ewok costume, which will be nice
with a nice long flowing hair.
Yeah, that'll be nice because we've got all the Ewoks coming and stuff. So
made of real hair.
That. Then we've got the New Republic security droid.
Yeah, this annoys me. That
I'm not going anywhere.
Vintage because it's just a remold of K2SO. Surely, it's the exact same body. Like if you look at it, it's a slight remold. Why are we not getting in the vintage first?
Well, same as how they're giving us in that same droid again in the Galaxy's Edge packs, aren't they? It's the exact same droid, just repainted. Just a slightly revariated version of K2SO. But yeah, they're giving us that one. Art Trooper Jesse.
Coming in,
sorry, I can't speak. Art Trooper Jesse's coming. Ahsoka's 332 clone trooper. Super Commando Captain, Mandalorian in Morak trooper gear, and the FX Elite lightsaber Darth Vader's coming as well.
See, but here's my problem again with the Mandalorian trooper disguise. But we don't have the guy to go who's in the scene. We don't have what's his face? We're getting the Black Series version of him. What's his name? It's gonna bug me now. We spoke about him like 2 seconds ago. Mayfield. Yeah, so we're getting a Black Series version of him, and then in the vintage collection, we're getting a trooper disguised Mando. Like, don't want another Mando. Give me another character. There are hundreds of characters in that series, and they're like, has anyone done Mando? Oh, we haven't done Mando. Has anyone done Mando? But he's got a cold. No.
They did the same. They did the same with Solo, didn't they? When Solo movie came out, they gave us about 50 variants of Solo, all different costumes.
Yes, I need someone to interact with.
Which may I just say, all my Solos from that movie are in a box, and I've never used them once. They are just literally sat in a box.
I loved that film. I was
really, it was a good film.
I've got no use for the figures though, which annoys me.
No,
I've got Harrison Ford on my shelf. Why would I have anything else?
Yeah, exactly.
So that was all of Star Wars. Now, that was everything.
So that brings us home to the last panel then, which was, of course, the Marvel Legends.
And we never really talk about Marvel, so we'll just skip that one.
We're just going to skip over it. There wasn't really anything. So yeah, thanks very much for tuning in. No, I'm only joking. I must say though, the Marvel panel, like they're probably the most entertaining to kind of watch. Do you know what I mean? Like I think that they've really got the banter down and the kind of little digs and stuff, and even just taking like Dwight taking like little digs at the Lazy Susan and everything. Like all the other panels are just like, oh yeah, look at this. But and then the Marvel guys are like, what is this? Like, you know, it was just entertaining
basically
to watch.
Us if we did it.
Yeah, exactly. So let's break it down. So we got
break it down.
Where are we gonna go? So I don't even know where to start. Where do we even
Let's start with the retro, because let's get the retro line out of the way. Even though I absolutely adore it, that's the one that you're probably going to want to talk about next.
Yeah, so Jean Grey and Wolverine, brilliant.
Yeah, so to elaborate on that,
no,
I'll just press expand on the article. We are getting there's the exclusive 2-pack, which is similar to the Pulse ones we had, which is, as you said, the new mold Wolverine. We've got Marvel's Phoenix as well. What's interesting though is I think I can sort of identify with the retro collection. You can sort of get into a pattern of identifying which body parts they're using and accessories to make new characters out of things.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure I recognize the sash from Elektra. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah,
that they've used on it.
Yeah.
But the Wolverine is a new mold, and obviously we've got a new series coming out as well. They didn't give the whole wave away,
but the Venom looks wicked.
The Venom, the Mr. Fantastic, the Falcon, which, as we've established, comes with an accessory.
A little
Jake
red
is
wing.
very envious. Yeah,
There's a tiny little red wing with him, and I was like, give us him in 6-inch, but no, you're going to give me a tiny little. So I could put that with a 6-inch figure, and it'd look like a Starling or something. Just like
have a few, and you can have a bag of Robins.
Yeah.
You got Mr. Fantastic, Falcon, Venom. So obviously we're only the thing away from the Fantastic Four, but I did not get my actually Invisible Woman, which is what I was really counting on for this reveals. Because I don't get it. We've
as
had
in a
Iceman,
translucent one.
Yeah, because we've had Iceman, and he's like obviously translucent blue. We've had Johnny Storm, and he's actually translucent red, and so you can do it. And like the Invisible Woman, surely
you will.
Easiest repaint.
In all fairness, though, that 3 3/4 inch line is quite new. So they're only on series 5, I think of it, like maybe 6. And we've only just got an Invisible Woman in 6-inch line, which isn't even out yet. It comes out later this year. So we've only just got it in a 6-inch line. So I don't think that we're going to get it in the 3 3/4 inch just yet. I think they'll wait on that one.
It is a great line. It's got endless potential. It's got potential for further things as well. Like there's definitely a potential for a really basic like cardboard style playset type thing like we discussed earlier with the Emperor. There's something there for that. There's all sorts of, even if like the Ant-Man figure they've done there, it's easy. You could just do a 12-inch version of that exact same mold and it'd be perfectly to use.
I think it's a matter of time until they release something like the Quinjet or the something that you can fit all your little 5POA figures in it and then close it up like old school, like the top comes off or something like that, and you fit all your figures in it. I think that's a matter of time until something like that comes out for that range, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely.
If they can do it for G.I. Joe, they can do it for Marvel.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's the retro line.
So let's get through the others quite quickly. So we had what's his name? Knoll.
Knoll.
I can never say it properly, but the King in Black story arc, that's a figure that people have been asking for ages. I haven't read that comic book yet. I've got it on my list, but there's other things that I want to read first because it's so talked about that I'm kind of like, I'll get to it. I will get to it. But that looked like an awesome figure, but obviously it's a digital rendering, so there wasn't the digital renderings always look really cool. So it's scaled it back a little bit, and that's what we're gonna get. What was the other one? What was the one that was revealed?
Baron Zemo got revealed, didn't it?
Baron Zemo,
exclusive, because the chat went mental when they said the word exclusive.
Yep. And that's obviously in the supervillains line. They've tied it along that. I wasn't massively hyped about that one. I don't think I even shared that one on my Instagram.
We recently got the live action version, and
also
more or less the same, isn't it? It's not.
I've got the 2014 one that is quite hard to come by nowadays, because so many people want it, and it's a better figure in my opinion. Like it's, I don't know. I'll probably pass on that one. I don't know at the moment, but it didn't really do much for me.
We got the retro card stuff, didn't we?
Yeah.
So the retro cards, so you got Scarlet Witch and you got White Vision. I've got him for White Vision. I'm 100% down for that. We only previously had him in 3-pack. What was that? 2015, I think maybe, that we got him in a 3-pack.
Well, that's very fitting because I went for the West Coast Avengers Scarlet Witch.
You know what? That's funny, but I've got her from the Family Matters pack.
Yep.
And it's pretty much the same.
It's the same thing. It's just repainted, isn't it? It's just a repainted version.
It really is. And I looked at her and I was like, you know what? I prefer this new version. But I don't know. I just couldn't justify it. I was like, you know what? It's too similar. It's way too similar. There wasn't any real. If it changed the head slightly, I would have got it.
For me, I want her for my classic Avengers lineup. She's got that classic red and pink costume going on. So I was like, I'm using the X-Men one where she's in all red. So I thought I'll swap those out, to be fair, and I'll use the pink one for my Avengers lineup, and she'll look more retro. Yeah,
it's one that I'll probably end up picking up. I'll probably end up getting it at some point. But I did really like the West Coast Avengers packaging. Like that was really cool to see, because I remember having a few of those comic books when I was younger, and it was one of the ones where I used to go down like the boot fair with my grandma when I was like 8 or whatever. And there was this guy there that sold you 5 comic books for £1. Like, and they were American comic books, and he had like boxes of them, and he'd obviously picked them up somewhere at wholesale, and you could literally pick like 5 of them for £1. There was none that matched, so it was literally you get like part 2 of one story and part. And I used to just literally grab like the first 5 that were in there and then go away, and it was all things like Luke Cage and Ghost Rider, or West Coast Avengers, or X Factor, or something like that, and all stories that you weren't familiar with because they weren't Spider-Man, X-Men, Avengers. But it gave me so much information when it came to new things. So when I saw that West Coast Avengers packaging, I was like, that hit me right in the nostalgia. But the White Vision figure just looked cool. I like the bare feet. I like the kind of two-tone shading and stuff, and it was essentially a new figure.
Yeah.
So that was cool. Was there any other retros? That was it for the retro.
That was it for retro. Yeah, that was all.
Just those two. What was the other one that they revealed? I completely forgot. The Vulcan. There we go. That was the one. They did that with the artwork and the droid and stuff. Yeah, that the biggest thing for me about that was obviously that's the mold that they've been talking about for quite some time, isn't it? So the new Bucky mold. So I don't know how familiar you are with Bucky molds and stuff, Ryan. Do you know about what they're talking about?
I'll be honest, all I could think in my head was Captain Bucky, your hair.
Yeah. So there was
an ordinary rabbit would dare. I love that.
There's a
tangent.
They released a Bucky Cap. So when Bucky Barnes became Captain America.
Right. So you mentioned Bucky Cap. I was thinking like a baseball cap. I was like, that's totally irrelevant. No. Okay.
So Bucky Barnes takes up the mantle of Captain America at some point. And he's got this cool kind of costume with black trousers and like a gun and all that kind of stuff. But they made a new mold for it, and it became like the Bucky Cap. And then that was the standard mold for 90% of the figures that came out that were on like a standard male figure mold. Used this buck. So it's just the Bucky Cap. And they said that they were releasing something new this year that was going to replace the Bucky Cap. So this is going to be their new kind of standard male mold. And then obviously they released Falcon, and that's what it is. So it's now going to be the Vulcan mold. Right. So and it looks good, but again, it was a digital rendering. So it was kind of like, you know what, from the pictures, it looks good, but I want to kind of see one in hand and have a play around with it.
So after that, they gave us the 2 captains, Captain America and the Falcon.
You know what? This was a 2-pack that I was a bit peeved about. I'm not going to lie. For 2 reasons. 2 reasons, and tell me if you agree with this. Putting the worthy Captain America in there was a really cheap move for me, because the worthy Captain America, a lot of people paid over the odds for that because it was such a hard one to get hold of. And my one's legs, like the joints on my one's legs are really wobbly. Like, so he doesn't really hold a pose very well. But he's one of my favorite figures just because I'm like, I've actually got him. Like, I've got that worthy cap. And the Sam cap, the Falcon and Winter Soldier Captain America, everyone's wanted an unmasked head for so long, and they threw it in there with a 2-pack, but they didn't even include the wings. No. So I can't sell my Build-A-Figure and replace it with this one because I still need the wings. No one's going to buy just the figure. Like, no one's going to trade just the figure. So if you really want to get that unmasked head, you're essentially paying like 45 quid for a head.
Yep.
It was just I always look at a 2-pack when it's got a reissued figure. I always look at it and think, what parts of it do I need? What parts of it could I sell? What parts of it would I customize or put aside? And I was drawing blanks on all of it. I was like, no one's going to buy the worthy cap because they're all going to have it now. No one's going to buy the Sam cap because no one wants it. But literally that 2-pack is for that head. It's a good head cast, but
I can see that someone is going to get hold of that head and it's going to get remade on the secondary market, and then no one's going to buy that 2-pack.
Nope.
See it coming.
Someone's prepping a silicon mold for that.
Someone's going to 3D scan that head and just recommission it.
It's literally a case of if I can get my hands on one, I'll cast it just so that I can have that head as opposed to buy the 2-pack, just because for my own collection, not for reproduction values. But I want that head. I do want that head cast, but I'm not paying 45 quid for a 2-pack with figures that I can't do anything with because I've already got them. Mm-hmm. And then obviously following that, we had the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, another Winter Soldier, which isn't this the same one we've had before? It looks very similar.
I'm massively popped for this one though. We have had this one before, but this is an updated version. So the one that we had before, the head sculpts in it are really dated. They're really dated. It's the ones that came with the black eyeshadow, but it's done on the old head cast, and the hair's not very nice.
It was the Walmart exclusive one, wasn't it? That came out before. The ones that were in Asda and in the UK.
No, that's the second one. That was one that was released after that. This is before that.
All right.
And this came with a visored head with the mask and goggles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and an unmasked head with the black eyes. The top half of the body pretty much looks the same, and the bottom half they've changed the legs around and stuff. And it's just they've beefed him up. He just looks a lot more screen accurate. So it was one of them ones where I was kind of like, you know what, I didn't need it, but I'm happy to have it. So so straight away that was an instant pre-order for me, just because it was we don't need it, but again, it makes it difficult now because no one's going to want the old version. Like literally the old version, the head casts that come with it, one of them's got glasses, so you can't even see who it is anyway. Like it's just all the full mask, and the other unmasked head, no one liked anyway. Like everyone sort of complained about it. So it's a shame when it kind of completely replaces an old figure. But I was hyped for that. I definitely jumped in on that one. Where did we go from there? Oh, they had the fan vote as well, didn't they? Throughout the show. Mm-hmm. Did you kind of catch on how what they were doing with that? I think it was massively underused. So they said that they were going to reveal a brand new figure live on the show that was voted for by people in the chat. So you had to hashtag hero, villain, or something else. I can't remember what the third hashtag was. And then whichever one had the most kind of comments would be revealed as the figure that was coming out. And it was villain, and it was the villain Despair, like the one with the black cape and the kind of skull face. But I don't know, they gave us kind of clues at the beginning, as in, the hero one is a figure that we've never had before in a Marvel Legends line, or I can't remember what they said exactly. And the villain is something that we've not seen since whatever. For me, if they had shown us the renders, these are the three that you're going to get, vote with this hashtag, I think they would have done better. But it was I think it was a real missed opportunity. They could have really done something good with it.
I think as well, because normally they say to people, if you vote for this one figure, the other two are never going to get made. Like they did that last time where they said the other two will never get made. So I think they're avoiding that scenario by going, we're just going to give you some keywords, then you don't know what's coming out, that we can reuse these molds later.
Yeah. Then whichever one it is that's not voted for, you'll see in the next wave.
You'll still see in the next wave, yeah.
So there was that. And then we went into, they showed us Captain America that we had obviously already seen because it had been reviewed already and announced on the whole creator database, the old platform. And then they showed us Iron Man in the same wave. Well, I say wave, but they're not waves because those two went up for pre-order straight away. So they're clearly not doing it as a wave. They're doing it as however many figures. What was interesting.
I was going to say, I hope this isn't the start of Marvel copying the Star Wars model and not releasing, because like Star Wars don't release things as a wave anymore. You have to pre-order every figure individually because you can very rarely find anyone that puts them together as a pack for you.
Yeah.
I hope this is not the start of Marvel Legends team going, instead of pre-ordering a whole wave and getting a bit of discount on buying the whole wave, you're now going to have to buy every figure individually.
No, see, I think that's what they're doing with their non-builder figure. They seem to have a much bigger, with all the retro cards, with the Deluxe, with the 20th anniversary, the Infinity Saga, the what was the other one? The 10-year and that kind of stuff. Yeah. I think that that's their model, isn't it? It's their business plan for that. Their business model for that
more over a longer period of time, though, as well. Like, if you, rather than dropping a whole wave at once, you can spread out a release. If it's like 2 figures here, 3 figures here.
I'm not sure whether that they were meant to reveal all of them, or whether it was just for time they only showed us 2. Because I think it was Dwight said about how they're doing the whole wave. That first series of, I think it was 5 or 6 figures. He had like Toad, Wolverine, Iron Man, Captain America, and he said that they would do Hulk. They were doing that whole wave, and then they didn't show us anymore because they kind of danced around that. Oh, and you might see it at some point, and maybe Toad's coming, and it was all kind of like, a little bit here and there. But I was really disappointed with that. Don't get me wrong, I pre-ordered both of them because they're figures that I want. But the packaging looks lovely. But the Captain America we'd already seen, and the Iron Man was they openly said it was a reuse of the 80th anniversary again. So
this might be our longest episode so far. I've just realised.
How long have we been going?
Quite well. It's now a long time.
Yeah. All right. We'll round up in a minute. That's Ryan's clue of like, I've got to go to bed now. But it was
just more like I just noticed what the time was. I was like, actually, I didn't realize we've been talking so long. But...
We knew this was going to be a big one though because of HasCon. So PulseCon even. But we're near the end of the Marvel Legends now, so let's get to the end of it. So yeah, it was disappointing because essentially it was that porn star Tony's 70 head, wasn't it? Like with a curly hair and a moustache.
Yeah.
Which is cool. It was, wasn't it? Yeah, it really is one of them. And then the only other reveals that I can remember are the VHS, the animated ones.
Yeah, so they were cool. They're giving us Jubilee and Wolverine again.
Yeah,
he comes with a little frame with a picture of like Jean and Cyclops.
Yeah, but the paint apps on it, the new claws, the new cow, like that. Straight away, I was kind of like, I got to get it. I can't not get it. It was as a X-Men fan and everything. I was like, I've got to get it. And Jubilee was a better version of Jubilee. She's pretty much a reissue.
Yeah,
but she's a better version than one we got previously.
You're the only person saying that on the internet right now.
Really?
Well, I thought she doesn't come with the bubblegum head that the last one came with. It's basically a reissue of the previous figure with less things in it.
But she's got it's
she hasn't got the bubblegum head, and
I think it's just down to the. I think it's just down to the cell painting or whatever it's called, like on the figures.
The cell shade.
The cell shading. I think it's just that's what's going to make her look a little bit better. But
I love Hasbro to death, and I love X-Men, but we've already had all these figures not that long ago, and they're just reissuing them and giving them a slightly different cell shade look now.
Yeah,
and they're going to do it for Spider-Man. They're going to do it for Hobgoblin. They're going to reissue everything with a slightly cell shaded look, just to re-release those figures again and make them look animated. And
the thing is, they'll stop making them when you stop buying them.
I haven't pre-ordered any of these. I pre-ordered 2 things from this entire set. I pre-ordered literally Scarlet Witch, and I only ordered Scarlet Witch. I only pre-ordered Scarlet Witch out of all of the Marvel stuff. I ordered that, and it was Spirit from G.I. Joe. Those were the 2 things I pre-ordered.
You know what was missing from reveals this time though for Marvel? There was no prop. There was no helmet. There was no accessory type thing. You know, like we had the Eye of Agamotto. I really thought that we were going to get another.
Because they already gave us the Spider-Man helmet that's coming.
I honestly think that they got cut for time.
Probably.
I think they got cut for time. I think that we were due to have more, and I think that we're going to see a Fan First Friday or a Fan First Monday within the next few weeks, and we're going to see the No Way Home reveals or teases, and we're going to see a couple of bits that we should have seen at PulseCon because they gave us what they gave us, and that was enough. Because also we got the MODOK with the Captain, and we got the Venom as well, and the Venom looks nice.
That's quite cool.
And so but yeah. So I think that it's just I think we'll see more. I do think we'll see more. So, but yeah, I think the animated ones I was behind. I'm behind that. I'm a big fan of the animated series, and just for the sake of the boxes as well, like they're boxes that will look nice on the shelf. They'll do. But yeah, no, I think all in all, it was a relatively okay con. There was a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff revealed, but a lot of stuff kind of missing. I think it was entertaining. It was good to be a part of it. I think
there was a lot of reissues, repaints.
Yeah,
it seems to be the way forward now, which annoys me a little bit. I understand we're in a hard time. We're in a different world right now. Maybe it's due to that. Cutting a bit of, making a bit of extra cash while they can, while things are a bit, quiet and factories on minimum staff and things like that. I don't know.
I think the problem is that with all collecting, with a brand, Marvel Legends, I'll take that as a prime example, but this is true for all of the brands. Marvel Legends have been going 20 years now. Fair enough, under different umbrellas, but it's 20 years old in next year. There comes a time in all collecting where you kind of go 360 and then they start releasing the same things. Like it happens in all lines, that you can only get so far before you start having to push out those sellers, those big popular ones, to keep the line alive. And I think that's where we're kind of at now. I think the fact.
Are you saying that we're too? Are you saying that we're too old and that we've been collecting too long?
Yeah,
something like that. But no, I just in a weird kind of way, I kind of relieved to kind of get to the stage where I'm like, if I'm being a completionist, I can kind of pick and choose, because I'm like, I've already got that one, and I don't need her with pink legs because I've got her with red legs, or I can skip that one because I've got that one with a masked head and not an unmasked head. You know what I mean? It's those kind of things. Whereas,
like the pick and mix station I've ever heard of.
It is, yeah. And I need some bananas and prawns. But I do. I think that's where we're at now. So, the only thing before we close up on Marvel Legends, the one thing that I was disappointed is that we didn't get a wave reveal. They did not reveal a full wave, and that's why I honestly think that we got another.
On that. Last week when we were talking about it, you were pretty adamant there was a wave reveal coming, weren't you?
I really thought there was. I thought there was a couple of waves that we were going to get set, that we were going to see, but I think they're coming in the next few weeks. That's my prediction. So, cool. All right. Well, that's our coverage of Hasbro Pulse Con. Obviously, there was not much else going on in the world. All I will say is that I went to MCM this weekend as well, which was good fun, but it was very obvious that there was a massive Hasbro shaped hole. And I didn't find it as interesting. I'm not going to lie. As a big Hasbro fan, Marvel, Star Wars, Power Rangers, it was harder for me to kind of get into it. I was enjoying it the same way I do normally, but it felt it was a very obvious lack of Hasbro there. So yeah, it was a shame, but it was good for the cosplay and stuff.
Could you get anywhere near Tom Hiddleston?
No, I was in the same room as him. That counts. I just, 225 quid.
I know.
I love the man. I think he's amazing.
I think much money, you want to get fiddly diddly with Thomas Hiddleston.
What he's said.
To be fair, if you were dressed up as Loki and went to the Loki meet and greet, because they had a do you see it on Instagram and Facebook and stuff? They had a big meet and greet, and he came up behind them as they were taking the photo and posed with them. So all them people have got a photo with him for free. So I think that's awesome though that he paid for it. That's very cool. Admit,
though, I was surprised.
Charge later though.
I was surprised though. I was surprised to see how many people were queuing up for that photo or autograph, or walking around with that photograph. Like I easily counted 15, 20 people that had a photograph in their hand, and there must have been 30 people in the queue. And I just think, when you're talking about over 200 quid a piece, that's a lot of money for.
He's redecorating his kitchen next week.
I would love to know what the breakdown is between how much Showmasters. Is it Showmasters that event?
No, it's Reed Pop or Reed Pop. I think. Yeah.
So I'd love to know how much the overhead is for Reed Pop. I'd love to know how much they take of that cut, because they will take a cut. I would love to know how much they take and how much he gets at the end of it. I'd love to know the breakdowns.
Well, it's easy. 225. You decide which way that goes. But there were some good people there. Like, you had Daredevil, you had Kang, you had Sylvie, you had Loki. Like, there were some good names. But yeah, I didn't do any of the meet and greets. So
I very rarely do, to be honest. When I go to these things, I can't justify spending £100 on a human being handshake.
No, and you didn't even get that now because of COVID. I think there's a screen in between you anyway.
Oh no!
But no, I took my two eldest kids, and they both dressed up. And my son's costume, people were stopping him and taking pictures of him and stuff. We did the old Venom symbiote puppet hand, and he was loving it. So that made it for me. But yeah, it was a good event, but it was very obvious that Hasbro were there. And for the first time ever, I'm going to say this, I went to MCM and I bought nothing. I literally came away without a single thing. and that says a lot to me.
Wow, people don't even leave game shows empty-handed. That's crazy.
My kids bought stuff. My kids bought stuff.
My friend Richard was there from London. He sends a lot of stuff my way from my channel and stuff. He always goes to these events, and he said he was so annoyed because there were these guys that were selling some vintage Star Wars stuff, but they had no prices out. And every time you ask for a price, and they were going, "Well, what would you offer me on that?" And it's like, "Oh God, just give me a price, dude." And they were just scalping left, right, and center going on. Apparently,
I hate people like that. The vintage Star Wars buying market is just ridiculous now.
There's a few names there, like Collectors Den were there, In Demand Toys were there. Like went up and sort of had a look on their things. But yeah, I came away with nothing. The only thing that I was looking for is I didn't get myself one of them Spider-Man. No, not t-shirt. What's it? The figure that came out, Hasbro Pulse one. With the unmasked head.
Oh, the new Spider-Man upgraded suit one.
The upgraded, the new version of the old suit from the previous film. And I said to myself, if I see one there, I'll grab it because I'm just going to end up buying it from Pulse or Smith's or whatever. But I didn't see any of them. Did not see any of them. Actually, I'll tell you what, right? Just before we go, my son did buy a Marvel Legends figure. He bought Star-Lord T'Challa from the What If because he loved that episode. It was the last one on the shelf, and he picked it up. He bought it and gave me the Build-A-Figure piece. But then he said, "Have you got this one, Dad?" And I went, "No." I said, "It's in the post. It's on the way." So I've got a Marvel Legends figure before you have. I was like, "Yeah, technically, mine's in the post." He went, "Yeah, but."
I'm really surprised. I'm really surprised you haven't borrowed it to do a review, a 5-minute figure review.
Yeah. You know what? I would have, but I couldn't take it out of his hand. I was like, you know what? I'll do mine when it comes. But yeah, he was like, so mine's here in my hand. It doesn't matter if yours in the boat. I've got mine before you've got yours. And I was like,
have you ever tried to do a review with one of your kids? Don't do it. I've tried it. Don't do it.
No. Never worked with children.
Paige, what do you think about this? It's nice. Oh, that's okay. Thanks for that, Paige.
Mate, that's what I say about a lot of my figures anyway. It's nice. It's cool.
I find that I say the same things in every episode. It's a nice, but I like this paint tap on this one. Yeah. It's a good sculpt. And then that's it. It's a nice figure. It's like I've not said anything different.
Oh dear. Right, let's round it up, gents, because it has been a long one. Obviously next week is episode 20 weeks we've been doing the Geek Week in review, which is insane but exciting at the same time. So do tune in next week because we've got a few.
Sorry, I was going to say you might want to mention that we are going out a day later because of Halloween. So
it's going to be no, it's going to go out Monday still.
We're recording it on Monday though at like 9 o'clock, aren't we?
It's going to go out Tuesday.
That's what I was thinking. It's going to go out a day late, isn't it?
It's going to go out Tuesday. It's going to go out Tuesday.
And Jake's going to be a year older by then as well. So.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because it's his birthday tomorrow.
Thanks very much.
Depending on when you're listening.
It is. It's my 21st birthday today, so I'm.
No one's going to. Yeah. That's about as believable as me having a hairline still, Jake.
Yeah, exactly. No, it is my birthday. I'm very excited. But yeah, no, thank you very much, gents. But yeah, so next week is our 20th episode, which is insane and exciting, like I said, at the same time. So we got a few exciting things to sort of, hopefully we'll pull them off before next week. And obviously there's a lot of hints going out that we are going to see a Spider-Man No Way Home trailer before then. So hopefully we'll have something to talk about figures and entertainment-wise. But yeah, so 20 weeks. Next week, and it will be going out a little bit later than normal, but do tune in. And if you are obviously still here, then please do like, share, subscribe, all of those things. Check out the description below for Sorrell's channel, for Ryan Speaks Geek's channel. Give these guys a follow if you don't already, and obviously check out all the various socials and stuff down below as well. And if you're listening on podcast, thank you very much. We do appreciate that. And again, make sure that you follow and share, etc., because it does good for the podcast statistics. I'm learning my podcast statistics, which is good fun. But yeah, so thank you very much, gents. That was an intense week
in Japan.
We we got through a lot. So yeah. Till next week. Keep it geek.
Keep it geek.
I've not finished yet, Ryan. Keep it geek.
Damn it.